Ever notice how two people can face the exact same terrain, yet experience it completely differently? One person carries a heavy workload and glides right through it, while another handles a fraction of the tasks but feels trapped in the struggle. This crushing sensation reveals a psychological burden, generalized anxiety spinning out of control over unresolved, everyday tasks. Nearly everyone around you puts in relentless effort. We are all working hard, yet only a tiny fraction of people actually accelerate forward. Moving through a high-volume workload requires identifying and removing invisible cognitive friction, rather than simply managing hours on a clock. It is easy to assume that the top 1% of achievers simply have higher IQs, or that they work significantly longer days than the rest of us. However, high-level output consistently points back to a specific state: clarity. This comparison illustrates the hidden cost of ambiguity. On the left, a worker lacking clarity carries the emotional anxiety of how a task will resolve, creating an erratic path. On the right, when the resolution is clear, effort results in a smooth upward trajectory. Clarity behaves as a manufactured state, generated specifically by the physical act of thinking on paper. To understand why writing is so effective, we have to look at the physiological constraints of the brain when it tries to solve a multi-step problem. Ideation happens in a sequence. A first thought appears, followed by a second, and a third. Here is the failure point. Your limited working memory drops the first thought entirely. The logical chain breaks. This leaves the brain in a loop of unresolvable worry. Human working memory evolved for real-time processing, not for the long-term storage of complex, overlapping variables. Breaking that mental loop requires a physical intervention. Force thoughts out of your head by bringing a physical pen and paper to the problem. Effectiveness comes from documenting exact parameters, the specific steps of the process, the deadline, and the individuals involved. This process is known as cognitive offloading. The mental weight of a problem instantly halves the moment these parameters are externalized on a grid. This happens because all ambiguity regarding the task has been eliminated. By offloading the data, the brain stops wasting energy trying to remember the plan. It frees up its full capacity to actually execute it. Once you write, your internal fleeting thoughts transform into external, permanent, and trackable data. Having this data unlocks a capability called daily alignment. It allows you to look back at the end of the day and review your actual actions against your original intentions. This vector graphic illustrates the self-audit. You can now see if the specific actions taken today mathematically aligned with the ultimate written goal. Externalizing thoughts on paper pulls you out of the weeds of daily anxiety and provides a high-level, navigable map. Hard work without a clear, documented path results in exhaustion. Hard work paired with a clear map leads to rapid acceleration. Stop attempting to hold the complexity of your life, your goals, and your anxieties entirely inside your head. To achieve ambitious targets without a crushing mental burden, you must build the daily habit of thinking on paper.
If you found this information useful, please like, follow, and share this video. Together, let's build a healthier life with the Health Blueprint.